Babe, it's time to make a comeback. Let's pull some tarot about it. I did a reading earlier this week about Mercury retrograde, about how one of the things that it was going to be bringing back around for people was opportunities that people thought they missed. And boy, oh boy, has that already happened for me. I've literally had so many things that I thought had passed me by or that were not going to route back around, or like that I just had missed out on the opportunity. They've come back around. We're all making comebacks. We're about to come back stronger than ever. And this Mercury retrograde is, you know, whenever it's like, oh, it's going to be bringing things back around with a vengeance, we are what? It is bringing back around with a vengeance. It's us. It's us right here, okay? But don't be vengeful. You know the difference. It looks like you went through a little bit of a death and rebirth, like things coming to an end so that things can begin, and so on and so forth. And we've been talking about this for a while. A lot of tarot readers have been talking about this for a while. But I think the thing that made this so scary and made this so like, oh, I don't want to have to go through that, or like I want it to go faster, so on and so forth, is the fear of like having to start over after the rebirth. But really what's happened is that you're not starting over, you're starting back at the sweet spot. Like you're starting at the spot where things are just starting to get good. Like you're getting to revisit that because for some reason the first go around when things just started to get good, you didn't get to enjoy it. It seems to me that whoever this is, like whenever you ever started on this journey, when you started like, I want to say it's more career, but like really whatever this journey has been for you for, I would say like the past 5 years, like that's the energy I'm getting. That's the energy that I resonate with whenever it comes to what I've pulled. And so let's say like past 5 or 6 years, but whatever this like career journey has been for you, when you ever started the journey or even got to the point where it was like the sweet spot before, you met a lot of people that really conflated your ego. Like they really amped you up, and they didn't mean to. They saw the best in you and they saw what you were capable of, and they were like, whoa, this person's awesome. And so they really like amped that up and talked you up and got in your head in a not great way. They did not mean to. It was not intentional. They did not mean to have a negative impact on you, but they did, because whenever they got in your head and made you think that you were so much bigger than what you were, or that you were so much further along than what you were, it just built a lot of stress and anxiety and conflict for you, because you were constantly in situations where you didn't really know how to handle what was going on. So really at the place where you're at in your journey, you should be at the about halfway point, like the point where like things are picking up, the sweet spot where things are picking up, things are really starting to move along, and you're starting to learn a lot of really great lessons that you can implement quickly. But instead, throughout this whole thing, you've been having to learn big lessons that really should have been learned like toward the end of the journey, or like at the next sweet spot, like the next big pickup, like when you level up whatever it is that you're doing. You've been learning lessons around then and having to implement them quickly, but not having the resources to do it. Speaking of like the resources, it looks like because of how this is all played out for you, you've really had to make a lot of like King of Pentacles decisions without having the King of Pentacles like backing or support, and that has really like hurt you in the long run, and that's really made it difficult for you to make decisions now, because you have a little bit of trauma around making decisions that were like a little too big for your britches. But because here recently, the way you've been making decisions has shifted and changed. You have proven to the universe that like you're capable of the King of Pentacles energy. So that's why you're getting this like new restart, where it's like you're getting to go back and start over, or not start all the way over, but start back at the good part where things went a little astray the first time. So you've laid a really good foundation for yourself to where like you can sit in this sweet spot for a while. Like you're gonna be able to sit at this like not finishing point, but like good point where it's like things are really starting to pick up, and you are going to feel more confident about the things that are going on around you, and you're going to feel like you're more set up for success and more capable of the things that come in your path. And it's going to be easier to make decisions because you've been making these King of Pentacles decisions without having the resources this whole time. So now the decisions that you're about to have to start making are going to be a lot less, like there's going to be a lot less stakes on them, like not as many stakes on them. And because of that, you're going to be really good at making them, and you're going to have the resources that you need in order to make those decisions. As a direct result of whatever these decisions that have been that you've made recently, I would say probably over the past like 6 months to even maybe just the past month, you've really set yourself up for success in the universe's eyes too. Like you've shown the universe, okay, like this person's ready. Now you're about to come like full steam ahead out of hermit mode. Like you've been kind of being forced in and out of hermit mode over the past like 6 months to maybe like 8 months, maybe even a year. Like you keep bouncing in and out and in and out, and it's because like you haven't taken a full hermit mode. But it seems like you've been forced over the past like month to really hermit and to like solidify the lessons that you've been learning but now like having to solidify them in private. And because of that, now that you're about to be completely yoked, if you will, out of this hermit mode, things are going to fall into place like perfectly. Like it's going to be like step 1, step 2, step 1, step, like literally back to back to back. And this is going to start a brand new, like great, emotionally peaceful and calm era for you. Like you're stepping into such a calm and like emotionally fluid era where it's like the things that have hurt you in the past, like you're still going to have that pain from them. You're going to still have like trauma and things like that, but you're going to feel free and at peace and content being able to sit in those emotions sometimes when you need to, which is really what this whole thing is about. You've also ushered in a lot of like focus for you, like where it's like I now understand what I need to prioritize and what is a priority for me and my end goals. Like I know what I need to focus on right now to keep moving forward in the direction that I need to keep moving in, and what really is not that important. Because there are some things that it seems like you've been taking it super personal whenever things like fall into your path and you're like, why is this happening to me? But what you're not realizing is that it's happening to everyone. It's happening to a lot of people. There are a lot of people in the world, or even just in our country, or even just in your state, that are going through the exact same things you're going through or something similar. And that shouldn't be invalidating. That should be refreshing that you're not alone, that it's everyone. Like the standards around how we handle money and how we do our career and things like that, they're changing and they need to change. And so if you're struggling financially, struggling with a career, or even struggling just in general with like the state of the world, you're not alone. There's also a lot of connection around your dreams and how depression has manifested in your dreams, trauma has manifested in your dreams, but also like these decisions that you've been making here recently, they have been backed by your dreams. Even if you cannot fully remember the dreams that you had, something about when you go to sleep each night, you're literally working through trauma, healing, waking back up the next day like a newer version of yourself. And you've been doing this like constant upgrading over the past like 3 months, it seems. And because of that, you're solidifying the brand new version right now. So like in this new month that we have started, so April, you are solidifying that. Like that transformation is being completely solidified where it's like, this is who I am now. And then you'll be able to continue throughout the rest of the year, like as this brand new you. All of this change that you've been through here recently has brought you to a place where you finally like understand what is meant for you and what's not meant for you. And simply even to take it simpler, like what is good for you and what's not good for you. Because of these things that you've been through and the way that you handled them and the way that you triumphed through them, it has brought you to a place where it's like finally you are open to things that are purely good for you. Like you are finally ready to bat the stuff that is not good for you off the table and make it not even an option anymore. It's like really brought you into like a really strong like divine feminine energy. And you know, like we should all be a balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine. So this is not gender specific. But because you're in this era of like ruling your kingdom and knowing how to rule your kingdom, you are now bringing in like true divine love. And this can be romantic, obviously, and most of the time it is, but this can look like anything. So be open to it. Be open to the love that is good for you. All right, if this message aligns with you, it will find you. And if it doesn't, keep scrolling. It costs $0. Mind your own business. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you can find me on Etsy at Mage Farms.